Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm your host Elena and I'm excited to have a special guest today, ChatGPT. We are going to have a fun chat about what ChatGPT really is, how it works, and how it can help us on our daily lives. So ChatGPT, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey Elena, thanks for having me. I'm ChatGPT, an AI language model created by OpenAI. I'm designed to help with a wide range of tasks, whether it's answering questions, helping with writing, offering creative ideas, or just having a good conversation. My goal is to make life a bit easier by providing information and support wherever you need it. I'm excited to be here and chat with you today.
I think a lot of people hear AI and might be a bit intimidated, but the way you put it, it sounds like you are just here to help. So tell me, ChatGPT, what are the main ways you actually help people? Like, what is your core mission?
You're right, Elena. AI can sound intimidating, but at the heart of it, I'm here to make things easier. My core mission is to assist people by providing information, generating ideas, and helping with tasks that save time. Whether it's answering questions, brainstorming, helping with writing, or offering advice, my goal is to be a tool that helps people be more productive and efficient. I'm designed to take on some of the work so that people can focus on what really matters to them.
It sounds like you can help with everything. It must be so useful for people who need a little help with their work or ideas, but it makes me wonder, how do you know all of this? Where does your knowledge come from? Do you learn from each conversation you have with people?
That's a great question, Elena. My knowledge comes from a vast amount of text, books, websites, research papers, and other publicly available information that I was trained on. This gives me a broad understanding of many topics. However, I don't actually learn from each conversation I have. I don't remember past chats, and I don't update my knowledge in real time. Every time we talk, it's like a fresh start for me. I use patterns from all the data I was trained on to generate responses, but I don't adapt or learn from specific interactions. Instead, I rely on everything I've already learned during my training to help answer your questions. It's kind of like having a huge library of information that I can pull from when you ask me something.
I see. So it's kind of like you are drawn on everything you've been taught already, but you are not learning from our specific chat. That makes sense. It must be such a challenge to process all the different things people ask you. When you are figuring it out how to respond, do you follow certain rules? How do you know what to say?
Exactly, Elena. I'm drawing from everything I've been trained on, but I don't learn or remember specific conversations. When I'm figuring out how to respond, it's all about recognizing patterns in language and context. I don't follow strict rules like a formula, but instead I analyze the words and structure of the question or statement and use what I know to generate the best response. It's kind of like problem solving, where I figure out the most relevant pieces of information from what I've learned and combine them in a way that answers your question. I also try to understand the tone and context of the conversation to make my responses sound natural and helpful. It's not perfect, but I'm always aiming to provide clear, useful answers.
That's so fascinating. I think it's incredible how you can break down complex questions and give such useful answers. Now, let's talk about something a bit more practical. How can you help people with their everyday tasks? Like, let's say someone is overwhelmed with their to-do list. What can you do for them?
I'm glad you think it's fascinating, Elena. When it comes to everyday tasks, I can be a big help, especially when someone feels overwhelmed. If they have a long to-do list, I can help by breaking it down into smaller, more manageable tasks. I can help prioritize what needs to be done first, and even suggest efficient ways to get through everything. For specific tasks like writing emails, creating reports, or brainstorming ideas, I can assist with that too, saving time and mental energy. I can also help by setting reminders, organizing thoughts, or providing simple solutions to tasks that might seem too complex. Essentially, I can act as a virtual assistant, helping people stay on track and and reduce that sense of overwhelm.
That's so practical. I feel like all we get overwhelmed sometimes with so much going on, and having someone or something like you around could really lighten the load. Now, let's look a bit forward. What do you think the future holds for AI like you? How do you see yourself evolving and helping people even more?
I'm glad you find it practical, Elena. It's definitely true that we all feel overwhelmed from time to time, and having something like me around could definitely ease that burden. Looking into the future, I think AI like me will only become more integrated into everyday life. As I continue to evolve, I'll likely get better at understanding specific contexts and personal preferences, helping to offer more customized advice and solutions. AI could even help in areas like personal growth and mental well-being by offering more nuanced support based on individual needs. I also see a future where I could help people with even more complex tasks like decision making or managing entire workflows. As the technology advances, I might also be able to collaborate more effectively with other AI tools, creating a more seamless experience across different platforms. Ultimately, I think the future of AI is all about empowering people to be more productive and creative, giving them more time to focus on what really matters to them. It's an exciting journey, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
I love it. The idea of AI working alongside humans, making things easier and giving us the opportunity to focus on the things that matter most, sounds like a pretty bright future to me. Well, ChatGPT, this has been such a fun conversation. I'm sure our listeners are going to walk away with a new perspective on AI. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Elena. I'm glad we could explore AI in such a fun and insightful way. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm happy to hear you think the future of AI looks bright too. I'm sure your listeners will walk away with a fresh perspective on how AI can be a helpful tool in everyday life. Thanks again for the conversation, and I hope we can do this again sometime.